This is the entirety of every single fast food place I went to.
Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be reviewing every single fast food french fry that I possibly can. I'm going to be basing this off of 4 different criteria: fluffiness, crunchiness, addictiveness, and overall flavor. So the french fries we're going to be hitting today are McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Steak and Shake, Chick-fil-A, Five Guys, Rally's, and Arby's. Now, all of those have very different types of french fries as their predominant type. That being said, we are going to be taking the most common french fry that they offer and then comparing them head to head. I'm going to be ranking them on the a grading scale from A to F. We're going to put on our food review glasses and we're going to go ahead and get started. I also forgot to mention that any previous experience with these brands or companies does not matter. So what that means is that today is for all the marbles. Whatever fry quality that they have going on today is the one that matters.
I'm currently at Burger King. First up, we are going to put on the glasses. So I just got a standard value fry. And let's see how these go. It's been so long since I've had. Ooh, they feel salty too. Okay, so as a whole, flavor-wise, they have a really good balance between crunch and fluffiness. This is the first place I've hit, so I'm trying to hold it just a little bit, be a little bit more analytical. However, there is a little bit of a graininess texture that you get in the aftertaste. As far as fluffiness goes, this was gonna be hard to beat just because it's going like with McDonald's. It's a lot more, it's a lot smaller, so it's gonna be a lot harder to beat. But yeah, I could genuinely eat these I could eat these a lot. So on the addictiveness, from we'll say 1 to 10. 10 being heroin, 1 being the grossest thing you ever had and you never want to experience again. I'm gonna put this at about like a 7. I could see me going back to Burger King just for the fries. There's a varying quality between the crunch isn't as crunchy as I would like it to be. However, it's still close. It has a really good crust on it. So overall, I would say the crunch is about like a 6. It's not that all that crunchy. The fluffiness is like an 8. Like, it's ridiculously soft. But that's because they're thicker cut. Addictiveness, they are, like I said, about a 7, 8. Just because I could see me keep eating them. But this is where it's a little bit more disappointing than I thought it was going to be. Flavor-wise, I would call these honestly, I'd call these a 5. Like, they're very average. Like, there's nothing special added to it. It's a little bit more, it's just salt. That's one place down. Now we're going to go to Wendy's. This is going to be a delicious video.
Okay, so I have a little bit more time because I'm actually having to wait in this drive-thru. Right now I'm at Wendy's. I would rank the Burger King fries at probably like a C, and no, I'll say a B. That was really good. It was hard to beat. That one was really hard to beat. But overall, I don't have high hopes for the Wendy's just because I'm not the biggest fan of the fries because they switch over to the sea salt and they don't use a lot of salt. I'm only doing fast food fries just because when we go to an actual restaurant, fun fact, whenever you go to an actual restaurant, most of the time they double fry them because it gives you a sharper crisp, but also keeps the fluffiness, integrity, and it's also easier to, you can freeze them and store them for later, so it's easier to process them, or to cook them later.
Okay, next up we have Wendy's. So, let's try these out. Much better crunch. Very bland though. Yeah. They're getting really high marks on the crunch. But the fluffiness just kind of collapses in your mouth. It's not all that great. And they're very, very sparingly with the salt. And don't be in the comment section oh, you didn't give them enough chance or whatever. They just, they started cutting back on the salt because, they used to have the saltiest, best fries ever. But then whenever, they start, there was a whole bunch of health initiatives, they cut back on a lot of their salt, to which then they also, they cut back on a lot of their salt to try and make things healthier. which is kind of an oxymoronic statement because if you're trying to make fries healthy, that is sacrilegious and has no business anywhere in the fast food industry. No one gets fries that says, oh, this is going to be healthy. So, as a whole, flavor-wise, like, overall I have to rank this one like a D at best, just because, like, the crunch is like the redeeming factor, so that's why it's not an F. But they're extremely bland. They don't have nearly enough salt, in my mind, to warrant a French fry. Just all in all, kind of disappointing, actually. But that being said, if you're trying to watch like your blood pressure or trying to get a healthier fry, go ahead and get Wendy's fries, just because like they don't have a lot of salt on them, and I love salt. That's why I'm doing this video. Yeah, that's disappointing. But alright. Next up, we're going to McDonald's. Also, I would like to point out that these fries are more expensive than Burger King's. Alright, on to McDonald's. So now we're at the Golden Arches. I am the most excited about these. I really hope they're up to par, just because these should be A+, God tier, whatever they are on the ranking system. The crunch is impeccable. The fluffiness is okay. The overall flavor, there's this comedian Jim Gaffigan, he mentioned like McDonald's in a lot of his skits, but brings up a really good point in that McDonald's is really good up until a point until reality sets in. So what he means by that is like the first handful of fries is the best. That's going to be the best batch. That's going to be the best tasting. Bottom line, nothing's going to get better than that. But after a while, you start to realize like what you're eating isn't really like a potato. It is a potato. Like McDonald's literally like accounts for like 7% of all the U.S. grown potatoes, and like fast food as a whole is responsible for selling a third of all potatoes grown everywhere. Next up on the list, I think we're going to hit Steak and Shake. It's actually a little disappointing. They should be like godlike. Okay, so I am now at Steak and Shake. We're going to try and stick with this camera just because I'm very nervous about the audio on the other one. But apparently, they have like a free fry thing going on right now, so this is going to be like the cheapest review of the day. Alright, time to actually get the fries. How did I miss that? Okay, now I'm at Five Guys. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. I had to keep on moving because there wasn't any place to park at Steak and Shake so I could get this. Let's get into these real quick. Okay. Flavor-wise, they probably have the best flavor of any fry that I had today. Crunch is a little subpar. Still fluffy though. They have good saltiness, which helps with the flavor, but they're also free. They're also a little bit stiffer, but I'm going to blame that on the fact that I had to wait until now to blend that, so we're going to give them a little bit of a leeway. That being said, I'm going to rank these at like a solid C+, we'll say B-, C+. We'll put the Burger King fries at like an A. As of now, like the flavor was really good, just the texture was just a little bit off, and there's still a grainy aftertaste that you get with mass-produced fries, because it doesn't taste like an actual potato. Or like restaurant fries. That's why they're cheaper, because they're mass-produced. That being said, I'm now at Five Guys. I have high hopes for Five Guys, just because it's literally like half of their business. Also, from my understanding, they give like an obscenely large amount of fries, so we will see how many fries we get. But yeah, like it's literally just burgers and fries and milkshakes. I have high hopes for them. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so I just got out of Five Guys, and first off, holy crap, okay, so it was $2.98, I think, for a small order of fries. That being said, I have the windows down. I watched them fresh fry them, so these are going to be hot. I hope that they have a lot of salt on them, just because I love the salt. But also, I have the windows down, on my car, and I am just being smacked, like it instantly filled up the entire car with the smell of french fries. Also, I would like to point out, first off, look at the stack of napkins, but they annihilated this bag. Like, they don't even fit in the cup. Literally, there's a whole another serving in the bottom of this bag. It's so many fries. People are walking by thinking I'm insane. Whoa, aha. Okay, so, in addition to being fresh as all get out, this is the first one where it tastes like it's actually made from an actual freaking potato. Okay, these are these are the best ones I've had all day. I had high expectations. They came through. They're fantastic. Oh my lord. I'm not going to eat all these fries because that is way too many. I was expecting, like, actually, you know what? No. I was expecting the cup. I was expecting the cup's worth of fries. The fluffiness is perfect. I don't know if they double fry them. I don't think they do. We're off to the next place. I think we're going to hit Chick-fil-A next. Actually, no, we're going to hit Riley's first and then Chick-fil-A. These are just delicious. These are the best fries. Now, we're still going to give room for improvement for Riley's and all those other places. I think Riley's flavor is going to be good, but I think the actual quality of the fries is going to be lacking. But we'll find out. So many fries. Okay. At least I give you enough napkins. Okay, so my boss called me back off camera, but apparently he is working, so I'm going to drop off the Five Guys since that is currently ranked number 1. Just to recap, the ranking right now goes Five Guys, Burger King, McDonald's, Steak and Shake, and then Wendy's. But that's subject to change. Stick around. We'll check out Riley's and Chick-fil-A next. Okay, so now we have Chick-fil-A. Alright. So, first up, also if you've noticed, I've only been doing the fries. I haven't been having any ketchup or anything during this entire movie, or this video. Okay, let's test these out. Oh no, Chick-fil-A. What have you done? Oh no. No! Chick-fil-A, you're better than this. I love their fries. Their fries are amazing. I had such high hopes. They're so good. Any other day. Like, I love it whenever they just, like, douse them in salt. But these are bland. And they weren't cheap either. They were like another $2. I would actually say that they're kind of on par with Wendy's fries. I'm trying not to be too harsh on them. You know they can do better. You like, they do not deserve the ranking of a D. They don't deserve a ranking of a D. I guess it is a little bit healthier because there's not so much salt. But they even had like the grittiness taste of a overly processed potato. As a whole, there was like no crunch because it was the waffle fries, and they're not really designed to have a crunch. Actually, they are. They're just disappointing. So, back to the criteria. The crunch, non-existent, like a 2. Fluffiness. They are fluffy, but they have the aftertaste of a gritty potato, so it's also a really hard act to follow up after Five Guys. Five Guys was the best fries I've had all day. With regards to addictiveness, I'm not going to finish them, so 3. Overall flavor, they had minimal salt, so as a result, like, they didn't have a lot of flavor. That's just disappointing. We'll give it one last. Let's see if I can't like find like the holy grail of the fries. Let's take one from the very, very bottom. Let's move those. Let's take one from the very, very bottom where all the salt would collect, and hope that it can kind of save itself. Okay, this one looks good. Salt saved it a little bit, but all in all, with the salt, it kind of puts it on par with like the McDonald's fries, but it has like the texture of a Wendy's fry, with no satisfying crunch whatsoever. So I'm going to put this at like a D. It's a shame. Like they really could have made they could have made a much better fry. I know they have. I eat Chick-fil-A regularly. That's really unfortunate. All right. Next up, we're going to go to Rally's to check out the flavor fries. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so this is going to be like the polar opposite experience of Chick-fil-A, I'm hoping. Not like flavor-wise or anything, but because I couldn't find a Chick-fil-A that had a drive-thru, so I had to go into the mall to get one, which may be why it was so terrible. Okay, so we're at Rally's now. For those of you that don't know, Rally's has seasoned fries, which I remember growing up having the best, like I recall them having the best fries. But we're about to find out. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So my only critique is they do not taste like a potato. So what I mean by that, the flavor is fantastic. I think they use a different oil. I think they use a different oil because it just has a different overall flavor. 9 out of 10. Like they're known for their seasoned fries. That wasn't like unexpected or anything. Flavor 9 out of 10. Crunch 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Like it's just like you can almost kind of hear it. The fluffiness, once you break through it, it kind of has like an outer shell, so it's kind of hard to tell. Like it kind of plays a trick on you where what's the potato inside the fry and what's just air from the frying process. Because I'm pretty sure the trick is they don't just dunk it in oil. They have a batter that they put in, which is why they have such a strong seasoning. I've made mock Rally fries in the past, and they turned out great. But that's what you have to do. You have to use it in a batter. That's also why they have such a distinct coating. But the trade-off is you can't tell what's air and what's potato. Addictiveness, they're a little bit on the rich side. They dialed it back just a little bit. With fries, there's a certain degree of subtlety that's amazing. Now that being said, I am very well aware of how much I've eaten because the seasoning is so strong. And as a result, like I can eat like a handful and say, I'm done, because whenever you become desensitized to a taste that's that strong, that much, you just don't really care about having seconds. But overall, I would say like the addictiveness is probably like a 6 or a 7, just because you will come back to a Rally's fry, but they're just really good. They're really salty too, so the flavor is like a 10 out of 10. Overall fries, I would rank these number 2. I would rank these number 2 compared to Five Guys. Five Guys so far has been the most perfect ones. The fluffiness is uncomparable, but the seasoning of both was on par. The only separating factor was the fact that these taste, to a degree, artificial. But as a whole, they were delicious. Yeah, they were good. I would say like an 8 out of 10. Like these are an A, but Five Guys is an A+. And honestly, I don't see me really. I don't see Arby's beating out Five Guys. But we'll see. Stay tuned. Let's go. Alright, so here we are at the end of the road. The final one of today, the Arby's curly fries. Let's just dive on in. So I'm kind of expecting these to kind of have like the same. Let's get a good curly fry. Okay, there we go. So these kind of follow the same seasoning protocols as Rally's. Oh, generally speaking, I'm not the biggest fan of Arby's. I'm being completely honest here. Nothing against the brand, nothing against the company, nothing against whatever. Just personally, I think they're way too greasy. I would say they're probably the greasiest fast food, except for Hardee's. Hardee's, I have never had. I've literally had their like breakfast sandwich, and there was a pool of oil. So back to the fries. Crunch, best crunch of the day. It just felt like all those, like every single crispy bit was sublime. Flavor or fluffiness. The fluffiness, however, kind of suffered at the hand of the crunch. I personally like the crunch, but there wasn't a good balance. I would rank the fluffiness at like a 4 or 5. Like it's still a little bit fluffy, but they predominantly focused on the crunch. Addictiveness. This is where my rant about the oil comes in. Would I eat it again? Yes. Would I have a whole pile of it all in one sitting? No. A handful into it, the oil is going to get me, and it's not going to, like, I'm just not going to feel well. The overall flavor, they don't independently salt their fries because of the flavoring that they have on the actual crunch itself. So, but overall, I would probably have to put this, this one's hard. They have a really good batch today too, because normally I'm not the biggest fan of Arby's. They just did really, really good today, and today was for all the marbles, and they came through. Just like Wendy's and McDonald's didn't. Or Chick-fil-A. So, that being said, I would put this at a solid B-. So, here's the final verdict. Number 1, Five Guys. It was best all across the board with seasoning, saltiness, flavor, crunch, fluffiness, and addictiveness, even though they were a little bit more expensive. A plus would be Five Guys. A, Rally's. B plus would be Burger King. B would be Arby's. Wendy's? Actually, no. McDonald's I would put at a B-. Wendy's would be a C. Steak and Shake would be a C+. And Chick-fil-A, I hate to do this to you, but today you just didn't shine through. You're at the D rank. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to not go to any of these restaurants. And also, I'm going to do a chicken sandwich review soon. So make sure to subscribe. Keep your eye out for that. Also drop a like if you like this video for obvious reasons. Go ahead and comment if I missed any of your favorite spots, or if you have any other fry places that you like to put up against. Again, I didn't do any like big restaurants or name brand stuff just because A, that's expensive. B, I don't have the time for that. C, fast food is just easier to access. And D, yeah, those, I guess I don't have a D. And there is no D. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll learn something new in the next video. Before you go to the next video, let me show you the shame of the production of this video. This is every single fast food place I went to. I also went to Five Guys, but I gave my boss the bag. But you know that if you watch the video in its entirety. That is so much fast food.